Now, this is something that bothers me very much. This is... The country has already basically decided to die. And I already know that this country will not die because of the people like me who are here to defend it and save it. But here is just something that this is what I love. This is something John F. Kennedy said, which is just sounds like words coming from a leader. And people who are truly enlightened, it seems to me like those are the only people that I truly understand at this point. Because I don't understand fear. I don't understand weakness. I don't understand pain. I see it as something that makes me stronger and nothing else. Now, I like to reference Obama's State of the Union 2013 State of the Union, because there was actually some really good things and of course a lot of bad things, because Barack is Barack. But I'm gonna explain what I really like about the leadership that he mentioned in his speech, about the grit and determination of America and the people and what we're meant to do for this country. Listen, JFK said the Constitution makes us not rivals for power, but partners for progress. And it is my task, he said, to report the State of the Union. To improve it is the task of us all. And yeah, there's been a decade of a grinding war with brave men and women in uniform coming home. And after years of grueling recession, this is word for word. Our businesses have created over 6 million new jobs, and we buy more American cars than we have in 5 years, and less foreign oil than we have in 20. Our housing market is healing, our stock market is rebounding, not really, and consumers, patients, and homeowners enjoy stronger protection than ever. That's actually complete lies. The point is, it is our generation task then to reignite the true engine of America's economic growth, a rising and thriving middle class. Well, let's whoop-de-doo. Here's the rising, thriving American here to finish this unfinished task, to restore the basic bargain that built this country. The idea that if you work hard and meet your responsibilities, you can get ahead no matter where you come from, what you look like, or who you love. It is our unfinished task to make sure that this government works on behalf of the many, and not just the few, that it encourages free enterprise, rewards individual initiative, and opens the doors of opportunity to every child across this great nation. That is what I do, and I feel like Barack Obama isn't a liar if he says that he's doing that. Well, I don't think it. I know it. I know he's a liar for saying that. Because I can do a better job at healing America than he can. Now, the American people don't expect government to solve every problem. Yeah, we know that. And they don't expect those of us in this chamber to agree on every issue, but they do expect us to put the nation's interests before party. They do expect us to forge reasonable compromise when we can, for they know that America moves forward only when we do so together. And that the responsibility of improving this nation remains the task of us all. Our work must begin by making some decisions about our budget, decisions that will have a huge impact on the strength of our recovery. Where to start? Well, it's kind of obvious where the mentality of thinking should go after that. Over the last few years, both parties have worked together to reduce the deficit. I'm not even going to read that because that is so... There's so many problems. And there's just so much deception. It's hard to know what's true anymore. Well, it's not hard for me to know what's true anymore because they're so transparent that I see past them. It's 5 years into the future, 10 years, 15 years. What they're going to do, what they're doing, what they're planning to do. It's so obvious. We can read them like a book. And any human being who can't read them like a book, I don't... Okay. I'm not gonna work on that. Let's see. Congress now, some in this Congress have proposed preventing only the defense cuts by making even bigger cuts to things like education and job training, Medicare, and Social Security benefits. That idea is even worse. This is what's, I'm just reading it off. Yes, the biggest driver of our long-term debt is the rising cost of healthcare for an aging population. I have the easiest solution to fix that. You give the people what they want, basically. I have the ability to give the aging population the exact health care that they need, that they can decide, that they can modify to their exact needs. Now, and those of us who care deeply about, I'm reading this again, and those of us who care deeply about programs like Medicare must embrace the need for modest reforms. Oh, whoa, what? And those of us who care deeply about programs like Medicare must embrace the need for modest reforms. Otherwise, our retirement programs will crowd out the investments we need for our children and jeopardize the promise for secure retirement for future generations. Obviously, I have the easiest cure to that, but people have to be, it's up to people to decide that. Let's see. He says that he's doing the best that he can to, through tax cuts, grants, and better loans, have colleges be made more affordable for millions of students and families. But taxpayers can... It just gives me so much strife to not only know that this is happening, but to know that I have the solution and that I can't get it out to people, that we have been raised in a compartmentalized society, life, and way of living, which is literally like a form of hell in itself, that we can't even have our thoughts and feelings and emotions and ideas be put out there that we know are meant to help people. Like, men can't be men anymore, and men aren't men anymore. We're men are encouraged to not be men. Men are discouraged to be men, and it goes worse and worse and on and on and on. So I feel. I'm not trying to put myself on a pedestal here, but this is the only way I can describe this. I feel like my understanding and enlightenment for what, as myself, has got me so far to the point where when I read this and comprehend it and try to put it into the way that other people understand, it's basically, that in itself to me is pointless, because you can easily just find the solution by using your own brain. But am I the only one who can use his own brain to figure out the solution to the problems that we face today, every day, every month, every year, in our nation, or in our state, city, and in our country? Let me just continue reading. Tonight, let's declare that in the wealthiest nation on earth, no one who works full-time should live in poverty, obviously, and raise the minimum wage to $9 an hour. That's horrible. The minimum wage should be way higher than that, for the standard of living that we live in today. Anyway, this single step would raise the incomes of millions of working families. It would raise It's like this person reading this, it's like reading the script for the script that a 5th grade teacher would teach to their 5th grade class. This is 5th grade level understanding. That's just, do you know how, It's so hard to read this one sentence. This single step would raise the incomes of millions of working families. When what that actually does, if you truly understand it, it's really bad. Because let me just quickly explain this. Raising the minimum wage to $9 an hour instead of $8 an hour, or $7 an hour, whatever it was. It's really $10.10. Raising it to that will only cause businesses to have to pay more of their employees, and they're not going to be able to pay their employees. So it's really going to squish small businesses, unless you have a big business who is able to pay their employees that much. But you can't, if the standard of living is to be able to pay, or the minimum wage needs to be, let's say, $40, to be able to easily buy the things we need to buy, give the things we need to give, and receive the things we need to receive. We need just that. It's like stating the obvious. It's like saying, if you paint a house white, it will be white. But what you don't know is what's in the white paint. And the white paint, let's say, is the most toxic, and is the most toxic chemicals that are put in there that people do know. There's even more toxic chemicals that people don't know that'll harm you horribly for generations and generations, and they're literally remodify you and kill you and cause you to die. It's like so that's basically what's going on in a way. I hope people just already understand that. I don't want to explain it anymore. I'm not going to explain it anymore. I'm tired of explaining it. It's like explaining why 3 times 3 is 9. It's like explaining 3 times 3 is 9 over and over and over. And how it creates the number 9, and what 9 means in itself, and how 9 plus 9 is 18. And that's just math. But I'm sorry, I'm done. I can't I can't focus on teaching people what's already there. I can only focus on doing things. I can only do that. I can only focus on doing things, and the only thing that I can do is not talk about the problems, but just talk about the solutions. Solution is me. Solution is light. Solution is becoming who you are. Solution is coming together and realizing that you're a creator and using your creation in a positive impact way. That's what I do. Or using your creation to do what you want. There's a war already going on. There's a war, information war, on your mind and on your life. We're so deep into this war. Sometimes I feel like I'm the only one who knows. You know, it wouldn't be too bad. Oh, freak. I even if I didn't have a job, even if I didn't have the ability to know the solutions, and even if I didn't have a job that would actually allow humanity to grow, I would still be doing the same thing that I'm doing. Even if I didn't work with Herbalife and I didn't know the facts about the truth about what's going on in our government and what they intend to do. Even if I didn't know that, even if I had absolutely nothing, I'd still be trying to do the same thing that I'm doing, because it's the only thing that we can do.